Texas capital Austin, the storm began to spin as residents went about their day, unaware that the strongest tornado in the region's history was approaching. Alarms rang out across the city, signaling impending danger. Tornado threat imminent. People quickly sought shelter as the storm became stronger. The first EF4 tornado touched down, sweeping across a large portion of the city. Many families lost their homes and property as the force of the storm destroyed everything in its path. The lives of thousands of people were turned upside down as the tornado continued its path of destruction. The terrible tornado swept away everything in its path. Debris flew everywhere like fireworks, engulfing the sky in a horrifying scene. In an industrial park north of Austin, many workers were trapped in a factory when a tornado completely destroyed the building. The rubble flew thousands of feet into the air, but fortunately, all the workers survived. The tornado approached I-35, creating a terrifying and beautiful display. Debris flew around the tornado like sparkling lanterns under the bright yellow sunlight. The tornado moves fast, leaving chaos and destruction behind. Many people tried to escape, but could not avoid its terrifying power. The powerful tornado continued to sweep through the city, taking everything in its path. The tornado attacks with unstoppable power. The tornado attacks with unstoppable power. Everything is swept away as the storm continues to dominate. This natural disaster will forever be a terrifying memory in Austin's history.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently in the city of New Haven, where the most terrible flood storm in the region's history is threatening the lives of thousands of people. The sky was pitch black, dark clouds were rolling in, signaling an impending disaster. The pouring rain poured down continuously for many hours, causing the water level to rise suddenly. The city's main roads turned into fast-flowing rivers, washing away everything in its path. Floodwaters rose so high that they obscured houses and vehicles, creating a scene of desolation and fear. Calls for help rang out everywhere as New Haven residents tried to find shelter on rooftops or higher floors of buildings. However, the situation became more and more dangerous as the ground began to shake. Huge landslides have begun to occur in mountainous areas, dragging tons of rock and soil down, burying many houses and people in an instant. In the southern area of the city, a residential area was completely buried under a layer of soil and rock. Desperate screams and calls to each other rang out in the dark night. The rescue team immediately deployed rescue measures, but the rugged terrain and continued rising floodwaters made the work extremely difficult. Meanwhile, in the city center, high-rise buildings shook violently due to pressure from the storm and flood. The glass windows shattered, shards flying everywhere like sharp knives. Streetlights and public buildings were heavily damaged, creating a scene of chaos and panic. Muddy streams of water continue to flood the city, dragging debris and trash with them, creating a terrifying picture of natural destruction. People tried to cling to whatever they could to avoid being swept away. Roads leading out of the city were blocked, making evacuation nearly impossible. The storm, floods, and landslides left the city of New Haven devastated in just a few short hours. This terrible natural disaster will forever be a dark and scary memory in the minds of those who experienced it. Ladies and gentlemen, we will continue to update the latest information on the rescue situation and further developments of this disaster. Please stay safe and subscribe to our channel to follow our latest newsletter.